Herat was a very important stop on the ancient Silk Road, and today it remains Afghanistan's third largest city. It's located just 100 kilometers or a 90-minute drive away from the border of Iran. In fact, I've noticed so many cultural things here that overlap with Persian culture, and it makes me so happy because Iran is one of my favorite countries on earth. The architecture here reminds me of Iran. It's got a lot of Persian influence, like the building behind me at the market. It's very, very cool. Everywhere in Iran, when they have tea, they put this kind of rock candy inside of the teacup. And this is the only place nowhere in Afghanistan I've seen that they have this. Thomas and I have been talking about coming to Afghanistan together for over a year, and I'm so happy that it finally has worked out. Thomas is arriving now in Afghanistan. We're here to pick him up. Dude, how are you?
Oh my god.
Welcome to Afghanistan, man.
What are we doing right now?
Oh
my god, look at your outfit.
You made it. Thomas is really a great dude, and I very much look up to him and his content, so it's a special experience to be telling stories together. We are going right now to Herat. So excited, man.
It's your first time, right?
First time in Herat, yeah, super pumped. If there's one thing I know, it's gonna be an amazing and crazy day packed with activities and adrenaline. The question is, are you guys ready? Our first destination is one of the most epic mosques in Afghanistan. We just entered this incredible plaza here.
Okay, Drew, welcome to the Friday Mosque of Herat. It's also called the Blue Mosque of Herat as well. This mosque was built during the 13th century by the Timurids. They call it the Friday Mosque because lots of people come here on Fridays to do the Friday prayer. So Friday prayer is a very important prayer for Muslims, and they all gather at the yard here. Like probably more than 1,000 people is coming here on Friday.
This mosque reminds me a lot of the one in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. You have the same kind of archways, the same kind of tiles, the same kind of design, and these huge plazas. Is just so incredible. Like I'm out of words right now. Like it's just so cool to be the only ones here. And tucked away behind the mosque is the original tile factory, which has been using the exact same process to hand make these tiles for over 700 years. We couldn't help but take a peek inside. So right now we are in the tile factory that's literally behind the Friday Mosque here. These guys are like literally like on their hands and knees banging and making these tiles like as perfect as they can, and it's been passed down generation after generation, and they still use the same ways that they've done it hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Mr. Umid is the head of this tile factory.
And everything's handmade?
From soil to actual tile, it's made out of hands.
The tile making process goes like this. First, the soil is gathered from nearby areas and it looks like mud.
That process is really interesting.
Then it's brought here in bulk and carefully crafted into square shapes where it is left to dry. Can you ask him how many tiles he can make from all that mud?
Like around 500.
After that, each tile is covered in an outer shell that consists of broken glass, which gives it its shiny texture. Next, it's thrown into the oven to be cooked at 50%, and then each tile is colored and then given a detailed design before being assembled next to each other like a puzzle.
They're sketching and everything is done, and this is how they bring the puzzle together here.
So much work. Finally, it's thrown back into the oven and cooked at 900 degrees Celsius, and voila, you have a tile. While everything has been fun and games so far, if I'm being honest, it's quite stressful to shoot content here. This is something that I'm used to from my travels, but for Thomas, it's the first time he has come across this challenge. Yo, put the camera down.
It's a little nerve-wracking with the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the first time I ever traveled to a country where you can like legitimately not film
Like the
in
guy
like most places. We've already been yelled at multiple times since we landed, and we just landed. So it's definitely sinking in the reality of like, wow, this is going to be a very different story. Like a part of the story is figuring out like, how do we even film here?
As I'm saying this, I'm looking at two giant trucks with big military guys with a huge gun pointed at the street, and they just drove by. But this is all part of the deal when traveling in Afghanistan. The way I look at it is high risk to shoot, but higher reward to tell these stories. It's like a game, dude. Like knowing where to shoot and stuff. Like keeping it down, putting it up. fun game though. We made our way onwards across town to the former home of Alexander the Great. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is so awesome. Because today is a holiday, the entire citadel is closed, but Noor was able to pull some strings and get us secret access. And guess what? We had the entire place to ourselves. Like nobody's here right now. Literally.
Oh. What a privilege to be here right now.
Dude, it's so cool. Oh, we get the views of the city now. We don't need a drone when you can elevate
Top of
yourself.
Alexander the Great's castle. Why do you need a drone if you can do that?
I'm so thankful to be here right now in this moment. You can see the whole city of Herat behind me up here. This is a very special place and I'm just so happy to be here.
Drew, Tomas, you're right now at the castle of Ikhtiaruddin. They believe, according to the excavation they did here in this citadel, they found the stumps and lots of remainings from the time of Alexander the Great, which is like back to 330 BC.
So everything we're seeing now is not original. It's all been rebuilt over time.
You can see like parts of the walls are original, but parts of the walls are